Yo, what's up, YouTube? What's up? Hope all is well. Back at it with another one. I know yesterday we basically was talking about what was going on with the Noah whale situation. So we're gonna get back into it with a video today from Comedy Hype.
At the center of the conversation, many have expressed that race looks to have played a part in the teen's death, given that it appears that Wells was the only black friend amongst a group of white friends whom he traveled to the island by boat with.
Black people, stop going on motherfucking vacation with these white folks. Your white friends call you, say, hey, bud, what's up? Hey, you ain't going on vacation? No. Hell no. Because y'all keep going on them vacations, and they keep coming back home, and we can't find you. You got to tell them white people no right now. Not all of them, but some of you got to tell them no. I can swim. What I'm going out there in the ocean for?
This man is funny. Yeah, so basically from there, I know they were saying that his friend said that he went with a girl. He left them, went with a girl, hung out, and they just found that they recovered his body like a few days ago. So honestly, my personal opinion is like if that was your friend, why would you leave him in that situation? But you said that he was with a girl. I don't know what to believe, honestly, to tell you the truth.
Will travel to Horn Island, which is the island that sits about 10 miles from mainland Mississippi, to celebrate the 4th of July. Now, while there, the teens, along with others, would enjoy the beach's shore and water. At some point during their time there, an altercation has now been said to have taken place, just before Wells will go missing around 4 p.m. Now, what has raised many people's concerns are why did Nolan's friends
Okay, so there was actually an altercation. Okay, so now the information now slowly but surely is coming out about this.
leave without him, and what are the details of the altercation? One user on Facebook who shared that she was actually docked next to the boat Nolan was on would go on to note that the altercation took place amongst the friends, and at some point even on the boat they were on. Now, as mentioned, for many, race can't be overlooked, as some would express their lack of trust when it comes with being the only black person in certain settings, and then they feel that Wells' disappearance is another example. Now, as people continue to question Nolan's white friends, whom he went to the island with, his black friends and best friend are now responding, explaining why they weren't with him at the time. On Monday, his best friend, Javon Williams, would join several of the peers at the boat dock where officials looked to have brought back Wells' body. There, Williams would speak to local outlets and Herald to give his reaction to the breaking news. According to Williams, he was supposed to be on the same boat with Wells, but it had got filled up and he rode on a different boat. Williams would go on to confirm that he did see Nolan on the island. As soon as we got out there, he told me that he loved me. Williams would also go on to say that he last saw Wells close to 4 p.m. And according to him, along with others, reports seeing Nolan with the girl while amongst their friends. Williams would also go on to share that he would end up leaving his phone with Wells' phone on the same boat in question, but would later retrieve his phone before going home. Now, outside of Williams' response, another friend by the name of Trace Carter would apparently give Nolan a warning to be safe before going to the island. According to the Sun Herald, Carter would tell Wells, just hit me up when you get back. Just be careful, bro. Watch out for yourself. And in response, Wells will respond with, I got you. I'll hit you up later. Now, according to that same report, it was also noted that Wells knew how to swim and had took lessons at a YMCA in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, where he lived, raising more concerns for some that foul play may be involved in his death. Back over on social media, Javon would continue reacting to the suspicious death of his friend.
So that one thing that many people were saying like, oh, did he know how to swim? Like while he was out there and on a boat that he didn't know how to swim. But it actually is true that he did know how to swim.
TikTok, he posted tribute to Nolan that read, for all the times you accepted my calls, text me, checked up on me, hung out with me, laughed with me. I love you, brother. Followed by a response to one user who would comment, devastating, in which Devon would say he didn't deserve this shit. Williams would continue his grieving on his Instagram stories with a compilation video of Heat and Wells. Now, when it comes to the friends Wells would travel to the island with, they have been identified by social media users. However, it does appear that they have decided to remain quiet on their social pages, with each of them having their Instagram pages on private. Now, upon looking over Wells' Instagram page, this was not the first time he would jump on a boat with friends, as he posted previous adventures of himself on the boat with a similar group of people.
I cannot do curly today.
Don't worry, you've got Minute Maid Zero Sugar. Full flavor, zero sugar.
Full smile and zero actual interest in her story.
Yes!
Carly!
The worst absolute massage of my life. I'm a tier 1 membership kind of gal.
I cannot do curly today.
I can't deal with Carly either.
And I'm sorry, but the whole boat, I thought he got on another boat. I didn't realize he was missing. Yeah, that's not sitting right with me, because what do you mean you let your friends just get on a random ass fucking boat? And everybody's in the comments like, oh, well, we boat hop, this is normal. Nobody got to go with them. And if it was 4th of July weekend and people were drinking and you saw that your friend was drinking, may or may not have been drinking, why would you allow him to get on a boat if you weren't with them? And don't get me wrong, I've been on a boat, I know cell service is shit. Most people leave their phone on dry land because, shit be flipping over. But if you was getting on another boat and you knew that there was no other way to contact him, again, why would you not get on the same fucking boat? And it'd be different if all the boats were just docked in one little area and you guys were just swimming, you saw in and out. But again,
That is kind of true. If that was your friend, how they're acting, I could kind of understand that they nervous, all this publicity, plus like you add that racial aspect to it. Excuse me, they're probably getting attacked crazy. I know they're getting attacked crazy online. It's a lot. So maybe you never know. Their family has probably been advised by lawyers to just don't say anything. Let this investigation play out by itself.
this just is not sitting right. And then y'all didn't realize he was missing until it was time for you guys to go home. Like, y'all didn't sit here and think, oh, well, shit, where is he? Where could he have been? Why is he not back yet? We're taking shots and he's not here to take shots with. Where's my boy at? Like, y'all don't sit here and ask these kind of questions. Like, there's a rule. If you came with me, you're leaving with me. Like, I brought you here. I'm taking you home. You guys don't live by that shit?
Nobody knows what happened to Nolan. Nobody remembers what happened. He went into the woods with a girl and we don't know what happened. So why did y'all leave him? Because I need it to be known that the one fact that we got for sure is they didn't report that baby missing until they got back home. They didn't call when they were getting ready to pack up the boat and come back home and realize, hey, we can't find Nolan. We'll be looking for him for an hour. Come help us find him. They didn't report it until they got back home.
So the same thing that happened to Nolan Wells almost happened to me. I think I was like 22 years old working at Texas Roadhouse. You know what I mean? Young, silly. Forgot a couple of the things that my granddaddy told me when I was growing up. I thought these people were my friends. Another lesson my grandparents taught me when I was younger is that you don't have any friends. You know what I mean? You really do not. Like, my siblings were always my friends, and I learned that. At any rate, I signed up to go on this, little trip with these people. They let us know, okay, so we're gonna get up on the bank right here, and then we're gonna go see the waterfall. So I'm like, oh, okay, so what we're gonna do at the waterfall? You know what I mean? Because I'm vibing, but at the same time, I'm not stupid. And they was like, just gonna look at the, sit there, light the fire, smoke some more, drink some more. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we get to the little spot where we pull up the canoes, we anchor them off and whatnot. And then they tell us, okay, so this little piece of water right here, we got to swim across that to get to the waterfall. So I get halfway through the water, and I realize that, and I'm losing my strength slowly but surely. And at this point in time, I am calling out for help. No music is playing at this time. You know what I mean? None. Yeah, everybody was rambunctious, excited, whatever. But you could clearly hear me out there in the woods. It's still daylight. So I'm screaming that I can't make it. Somebody please help me. They turn around, several of them look at me, say, you can do it, come on, let's go. And they continue to walk off. At this point in time, I have already said my prayers and have already decided that I'm going to meet my maker. I screamed one more time, I am going to drown, and I went down. I don't know who, can't remember who was and what made them decide to change their mind and come back. But one person jumped in that water, grabbed me, pulled me up onto the bank. And mind you, they didn't do anything else after that and continued on their way. As young black children, the same lesson that I'm sure you're telling all your children now. Do not be the only one. And it really doesn't matter how people feel about that, but because the concern is preservation of life. So for some reason, God saw fit to not allow me to lose my life today, that day. And for some reason, God called Nolan home. So I will say that despite what anybody feels about how you feel about the situation, please have that conversation with your children. And that's all I'm going to say. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells, and to his entire family.
Yeah, like me personally, I kind of see where he's going, but in general, none of us really don't have friends. We do have friends, but like my uncle taught me, you only gonna have at least 5 friends, even less in life. Friends are few in between, and that aspect I do believe in. But with like the racial aspect, yes and no, especially in Mississippi with the history, things can get murky with racial relations, all a lot of all type of trickery. So I can see that on that part.
According to Jackson County Sheriff John Ledbetter, who would speak when Wells' body was found, the case will be handled like any other cases, with a thorough investigation.
Number one, give family space and time. They're still processing this tragic event. And all of those close friends. I'll assure you, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, we're looking at this whole case just like we would any other case. And we're going to be as thorough as we can.
Now, as far as Nolan's family, they have set up a GoFundMe for all those wanting to show support after Wells' sudden passing. An autopsy has been scheduled to be performed today to help provide more answers. Let's talk about them in the comments below. Now that we've heard from Nolan's other friends, does it leave with more questions? And what should happen next? Reporting live from Hyper Club for Hyper Plus News, I'm John Abba.
All right, guys. All right. Let's just read some of the comments right now. From Celeste, Campbell 5103, and they got their story straight amongst themselves, and they will stick together. Interesting. Let's see. Yes, their parents have coached them, and never shall there be space between their stories. How do y'all believe that? You think the parents really coached them on how to be quiet and how to move after the situation? Let's see this one. I don't know how true it is, but it is said that one of those white boys' dad is a judge, so we know everything is going to happen. Have you all heard about him having any relations? His friends have relationships with the judge. And this one I like. You come together and you leave together. That's true. That's true. Alright, let's see if they got more information. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, let's watch this right here.
The probability of me understanding this is 0.
You should AI that with Copilot.
Explain it to me like I'm 5.
A lively holiday atmosphere on Horn Island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast turned into a desperate emergency response operation after the disappearance of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Nolan and a group of friends went on an excursion to the popular island to celebrate Independence Day. But the atmosphere quickly shifted after friends noticed Nolan failed to return to the mainland as the sun began to set. Authorities said Nolan was last seen on the island at around 3 p.m. and did not return on the same boat as his group of friends. By midnight, his mother contacted the Jackson County Sheriff's Office and reported her son missing. Nolan's distraught mother pleaded for help on social media, sharing photos of her son wearing blue swim trunks and sunglasses, smiling on the boat and huddled around friends. The mom requested the help of the United Cajun Navy, a non-profit organization that provides for disaster relief. I'm Israel Salas Rodriguez, senior news reporter at the U.S. Sun. Thanks again for joining us. Make sure to click that like and subscribe button to stay tuned for more reports like this one. Joining us now is Josh Gill, the Cajun Navy's incident coordinator for the search and rescue for Nolan. Josh, thank you so much for joining us. Can you just introduce yourself to our audience?
Josh Gill, I'm from Louisiana. I'm the incident commander for the United Cajun Navy.
And how long have you been with the organization?
Been with the organization on and off since its inception. Really been instrumental in the role for a couple of years now.
And shifting over to the Nolan Wells case, can you describe the water conditions surrounding Horn Island for those of us who are not familiar with the area?
Sure. So Horn Island's off the coast of Mississippi. Believe about 10 miles off the coast. 144 square mile island. It's pretty big. It's a location that's in the Gulf of Mexico / Gulf of America, whichever nomenclature you want to use. It's a destination area for boaters, right? Fishermen, boaters, recreational boaters as well. July 4th weekend, the water wasn't extremely rough. It was a normal day. I'd say light swells, maybe up to 1 foot. There is a pretty heavy tidal surge and tidal movement on that portion of the island where they were at. It's a pass between two islands.
So it's a possibility that maybe he got caught up in a rip current or a surge. That's possibly could be another reason what had happened to him. Let me know in the comments what y'all actually think what happened to him.
Increased tidal influence right there, along with wind and wave action.
Okay. And is the area popular during the holiday, during 4th of July weekend?
Extremely popular. All summer long it's popular. Like I said, there'll be anywhere from a few hundred boats to maybe over 1,000.
And can the water conditions change at all when the sun begins to set around the area?
Sure. Conditions change rapidly there. It's not exceptionally deep, which calls for the ability for conditions to change quickly.
Can you walk us through the timeline from the moment that Nolan was reported missing?
Sure. So to the best of my knowledge, again, I didn't get a call till that next day. As I appreciate, late that evening, Nolan was on the beach. The vessel that he came with left, and from there, we don't know what happened, right? Again, I'm just a volunteer, I'm running volunteer operations, I'm not law enforcement. So what happened really isn't what I'm looking for. What I look for search is that last known location, and then specifics about the area or specifics about the person. Knowing that northwest corner of Horn Island was what we call the LKL, last known location. From there, we looked at the weather conditions, tidal conditions, wind conditions to come up with a plan, come up with a grid on what we could do. As within 30 to 45 minutes when I got notification of him missing from the family and then from the mother, we had surface vessels, that's boats that were in the area starting search. We also had 2 drones that were in the air, as well as boots on the ground on the island doing a manual walk to look for Nolan there. That next day, yesterday, we had at daylight 4 vessels, 2 more people, as well as a fixed-wing aircraft in the air that started 6:15-ish, 6:30.
And when Nolan's mom did reach out to you, what was her tone like? Did she give you any information that could help in the search?
Oh, absolutely. So, and again, you can understand the frantic. She was She wanted to know everything that was going on, and what we could do to provide resources, what we could do to help her find her son. I mean, that's um, issue number one. Find Nolan. But again, she was, with everything that was going on, Miss Christine was extremely calm when she was providing that information, and I asked some very tough questions. Um, and I just wanted to make sure that she understood all the questions that I asked are related to helping me find the location search.
Imagine being able to build anything
Yeah,
just by thinking about
it
it.
shows that the family got the Cajun Navy, a group of volunteers that help out during like natural disasters in that area, and they helped out in the search. And I think they probably found him in the recovery. I'm not sure about that, but a role as well.
Were you approached by any of maybe Nolan's friends that stayed in the area and they provide any information to you guys?
It is an active and open investigation, so I'd rather discuss the pieces and parts of who we had conversations with. I will say this is that I don't believe any of the friends stayed.
And what did you know about the Nolan's disappearance when you first got that call? Did you know of anything beforehand?
Just basic information, stuff that I gathered off social media, as well as information from the mother.
Okay, okay. So it seems basically how he gave a good amount of information about, the search and like when they get the information about him and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, honestly. And none of his friends stayed for him. Let's listen to this guy right here.
The family of the missing Mississippi teen, Nolan Wells, has identified the body that was found on Horn Island as the 18-year-old. Officials said that the body, which is believed to be that of 18-year-old Nolan Wells, was found around 8:45 a.m. by a park ranger. Jackson County coroner said DNA testing will officially confirm the identity, but did say, quote, there is no reason to believe it is not him. The sheriff also added that the body found did match the description of Wells, and the family posted on social media confirming the unfortunate loss. The family of the missing Mississippi teen, Nolan Wells, has identified the body that was found on Horn Island as the 18-year-old.
So what do you all think, honestly, about what had happened in that situation? Me personally, it's tragic. May his spirit rest in peace. Hopefully, they find out what had happened, and this won't happen ever again, especially there. And not to mention, I only could imagine how his parents feel. 18 years old, had the whole world waiting for him. Honestly, you just gotta be careful. How my family say, hey, you gotta be prayed up, keep your head on the swivel, and just be careful. Honestly, that's all I gotta say. I wanna thank you all for watching my videos today. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna come back with another one. We're just gonna stay consistent. That's just the key. Just stay consistent and everything will come. Thank you so much, you all. Have a great night.